On this episode of From the Heart, we get to know Monica Tolic.
I could have died, and then, the stresses of year 12 and having to juggle 3-4 subjects on top of trying to recover. I think that was a really big thing for me initially that I found hard. But then over time, through talking to my friends, my family, and my school were so supportive about what I had gone through. They had understood that what I had gone through, not many other people my age would have gone through.
A heart team from Adelaide who just finished her last day of high school last Friday. She's got big goals in sight for her future. So we're going to chat to her today about what's it like growing up with a heart condition and particularly through her high school years. Before we begin, we'd like to acknowledge that we're recording on the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, otherwise known as Warrung. We acknowledge the traditional owners and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. We pass that respect to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander listeners. Welcome to the podcast, Monica. Where are you joining us from?
I am joining from Adelaide this afternoon.
Beautiful. How is it in Adelaide?
Well, today it's been very, very nice and sunny, classic spring weather, if you know what I mean, the nice sun and just you can definitely tell that summer's coming around very soon.
I love summer. I'm itching for it to get hot and swim weather and
Oh, same. Yeah, absolutely. I'm such a summer babe. That's probably just one of my favorite parts of the year. Just when summer comes around and yes, each time school's out, I can just do whatever I want.
I'm my peak at summer. In winter,
absolutely.
I'm grumpy and horrible. Summer, I'm a different woman.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. Oh, well, look, first time on the podcast. I guess it's only fair to just give you the mic and say, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your heart condition and who you are.
Well, I'm Monica, 17. I'll be 18 as of next month, so I'm very excited about that. My heart condition is, in the grand spectrum of CHD, it's very, simple, but in the way that I had gotten diagnosed, it's a bit rare, it's a bit complex. So my condition is I have a dilated aorta. I got that diagnosed as 10 days old, in the hospital, through the discovery that I actually have a genetic tissue disorder called filament A. So that's kind of how my heart condition came about.
Yeah, okay. So what is filament A?
It's very rare. It's kind of like Marfan syndrome in the sense it's connective tissue disorder. It can affect your heart. It can affect your lungs. So on top of my dilated aorta, I also have obstructive and restrictive lungs. It can affect people very clearly from birth, or it can also take time. It's another spectrum as well. I just kind of got slightly unlucky and kind of got the whole brunt of it all.
Oh, you poor thing. Look, you're 18 now. Obviously, you've made it through. You're happy, you're healthy, you're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Girl, no stress. What has it been like, I suppose, growing up with this condition?
Well, growing up, I kind of always saw myself as a bit of normal because my aorta growth was very stable throughout my life. It was more so throughout the past year where I've kind of realized, I am a heart kid. I'm a bit more different, but I guess as well, even through when I was younger, I guess the only limitation or kind of difference with me growing up is that when I would do PE or do any sort of physical activity, I'll get tired a bit faster because of my heart and lungs, which I guess would kind of make me a bit more of the odd one out. But apart from that, I lived a normal childhood.
Yeah, and I think it's such a common thing, right, to have that experience. I guess for you growing up, I feel like we have one of those struggles where it's hard to kind of accept those limitations and to not, I suppose, 100%. Internalize it. Yeah. What was it like for you to know what your limits were, but also be okay with that?
I guess when I was younger, it was hard for me not to compare myself to others because of my condition, because of my aorta and stuff like that. So every time I would see, for example, the beep test, I hated the beep test growing up. Just seeing everybody else being able to run for such a long time and then me always being the first one out kind of made me feel I'm not capable. This feels strange. Just, I don't know, me always in a physical sense wanting to do more different kinds of sports, but then because of the fact of the risk of, if someone hit me in my chest, my aorta could burst, things like that. So I couldn't play contact sport. I couldn't have a longer endurance as compared to other people. So I think having to do with that and be okay with that was kind of hard. But I guess as I got older and got in it throughout high school, I was more okay with it, and my school and my friends were a lot more okay with it and a lot more accepting of the fact that I was a heart kid and was a bit different.
Yeah. And I think there's some things that we can't do, but there are some things that we can do, and building relationships that are focused on accepting you for who you are, however you come. Do you have a support system that does love you for who you are? How have you been able to build that system?
I would 100% say my family first and always, because they have been with me throughout my entire life, obviously, and they're always having to come with me to my appointments, and they're always, I mean, I'm a Balkan, I'm Croatian, and like we have a big family system, not just here in Adelaide, but overseas as well. So not only does everyone in my family here in Adelaide know what's going on with me, but all my family overseas is always hearing about my medical progress and just all that sort of stuff.
I know also, just on a very quick side note, do you dance?
I do dance, indeed.
Tell me about dancing.
Oh, well, I have danced on and off growing up. So I started as a free, and then kind of throughout my childhood again, it was a very on and off thing, maybe because of the fact of my medical conditions. I can't even remember why I stopped, because coming back into it, I was in year 8, and my high school, which I'm just about to graduate from, which is so exciting, we had offered a dance program at my high school. So I'm like, you know what? I've always enjoyed dance. I'm going to try it again. And I think being a part of that dance class at school kind of re-sparked my interest. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my old studio and I'm going to try and build my dance career again. And from then, it's been absolutely amazing. I just love it so much.
I love this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably one of the biggest passions that I have. Absolutely.
I suppose, is it really nice to know that while we can't do some contact sports, there are sports that we can do that you happen to love? Has it been really empowering to be able to have exercise that you are so passionate about?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'm a very active person. And I think even with being a heart kid, still having the healthy lifestyle and the dance and all like the fitness that I love to do, not just in the studio, but at home as well, has really empowered me to still push beyond my limits to what I can do.
Beautiful. And look, you are what, a week out from graduating high school?
Basically, yeah. I've got my exam next Friday. So I'm very nervous about that, but also excited because it's basically the beginning of the end.
That's it. Do you have a plan for what's next? I hated when people asked me this when I was in year 12. So I'm so sorry that I'm going to do it to you. But like, what's on the horizon for Monica? What are we looking at?
I've already got a place, a uni here in Adelaide next year to study human nutrition. So through that, I want to help people through food and exercise and kind of help not just sports people, but maybe other heart kids that might not know how to go about certain things with exercise or with nutrition. And I feel like as my lived experiences, I would love to be in this career where I can help people just in the way that people have helped me. Because I've had many physios help me growing up. I've had many other specialists, not just like cardiologists, but also any sort of doctor you can think of, I've had help me. So if I can kind of return the deed, that'd be amazing.
I really, really love this because I think that a lot of us growing up kind of have a bit of an aversion to like exercise and the healthy lifestyle because we are so nervous and we've been told in the past that exercise isn't a good thing and it is really difficult to keep on top of your health when you are a heart kid. I guess tell me a little bit about, when we talk about healthy eating, we talk about our bodies. Tell me a little bit about, I know that you're particularly passionate about body image and helping people in regards to their nutrition and their healthy lifestyle. Tell me kind of where that came from for you.
Well, I don't know. I'm a big foodie, so that's probably one of the ways it stems from. Like, I love food. I love what it can do to people. I love how, like, it can unite us and help us at the same time. So if I'm able to be that sort of guiding light once I graduate and kind of start my career in that sort of field, that would be wonderful for sure.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And look, I think to further it as well, you know, heart kids, we come in all different shapes and sizes and we look very different. And body image is a really big thing for young people in our community in particular, with whether we have scars is a really, really big one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess do you have surgery scars?
I actually do. I have a zipper at the front. And then when I was 2 months old, I had a PDA. And I think that scar is kind of around my shoulder blade. It's a very faint line, that one, but the zipper from my open heart surgery from late last year, just before Christmas, that's probably the one I'm the most proudest of, I have to be honest.
Girl, I think we have the same scars.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, full. I have the shoulder blade one from like 2 days, and then I've got the front one from 2 years.
Oh, no way. That is absolutely epic.
Look at us. So your zipper's only recent, right? So it was last year.
Yeah, my zipper was from December last year.
Oh my God. So you've had your open heart surgery whilst at school?
Actually, it was lucky because we managed to get my open heart surgery done while I was off school. So while it was the summer holidays, I managed to somehow fly up to Brisbane and just get it all done and have my recovery done in the 6 weeks before I started year 12.
A very impressive scheduling maneuver there. That's very impressive.
I have to thank my mum for that one because, again, she basically saved my life with this.
Mums, right? Mums.
Oh, absolutely. Mum's the word.
I guess, what has it been like, not only to have this surgery, but your experiences prior to the surgery and then study on top of it. And now, only 10 months later, prep for your HSC. That's a huge amount to juggle. How have you gone?
Well, again, I came to year 12 6 weeks after open heart surgery. So that was a bit strange, kind of thinking, oh, well, I can't be doing certain things, but yeah, I'm going to school and basically now studying full-time 3-4 subjects. So that was a bit weird to grapple with, especially with, I think, the first few months as well. My mental health took a bit of a toll because of the fact of, oh, I'm still struggling with the fact of, oh, I could have died. And then, oh, the stresses of year 12 and having to juggle 3-4 subjects on top of trying to recover. I think that was a really big thing for me initially that I found hard. But then over time, through talking to my friends, my family, and my school were so supportive about what I had gone through. They had understood that what I had gone through, not many other people my age would have gone through. Just, yeah, the fact I'm so grateful to this day that everyone that I had around me. Oh, sorry, I still get so emotional.
That's so okay. It's so valid because it's a huge thing.
I mean, for my first open heart surgery, it was, oh my God.
That's okay. Look, I'll ask you a different question. What you said before, I really loved because I feel the same way. My zipper scar, you were like, it's the one I'm most proud of. Girl, same. I guess tell me about the way that you now feel in your body with this scar and how have you come to be proud of it?
Well, initially, obviously, with the whole open heart surgery thing, considering, oh, I'm a teenager in today's society, I remember my surgeons were saying to me, oh, if you wanted to, you can have like cosmetic procedures like laser to take it off and stuff. And my mum and dad were also like saying to me, like, you know, it's okay if you want to do that. I'm like, absolutely not. I don't want it off. I want it to stay with me because, again, I said to my family, I'm like, it's going to be a part of me now. I might as well be proud of it and show it and kind of show that it's my battle scar, but also the battle scar that I won with, rather than be ashamed of it and have it taken off. I think that was one thing I was initially like, I just want it on. I like it. And to be honest, all the time I wear clothes that I guess show it because that's the thing I want people to see. Oh, she's a HeartKid. She's going through some amazing battles that has shaped her to who she is, because that's exactly what my friends have said to me. They said to me, oh, like, can we see your scar? And they absolutely are so proud of me for the fact that I am so open about my scar and I love sharing about it. And frankly, I'm proud of myself too for that.
I love that. I think that's the thing. I don't often show mine.
Yeah, and that's also completely valid. Like, I can also understand why some girls in our society, but particularly I like that because of social media, because of how it perceives to be perfect bodies, perfect everything, and that sometimes people think of scars as not being perfect. And that's, I think, with my experience, I wanted to try and change that.
Yeah, totally. And I think the biggest thing is like, I think I present in a way that you wouldn't think this about me. And then when you happen to see the top of, I've had people who like a year into knowing me are like, oh yeah, I don't want to ask about the scar, but what's that about? And then you get to tell them the whole story and they get to know and it's super exciting.
Yeah, I love talking about my story because, again, it was one crazy journey. And I think that's the most amazing thing about HeartKids and our scars is that we have had them come about in such amazing ways. And I think all of us HeartKids should be so proud to talk about them and so proud to show them because we are truly an amazing community of people.
I love that. We are. You're in this period now, from what I know, where you're about to transition into an adult hospital. How are you feeling about that movement?
I'm excited, but also kind of sad because my pediatric cardiologist, we've known him since I was like, a few days old. And I guess we've, over the years, have created that bond where we can talk to him about everything. And my mum, I think, will probably be the most sad because she will now have to annoy another cardiologist with all her constant emails. But no, it's a very exciting time in my life, especially with the whole transition process, kind of going to a new hospital, meeting a new doctor. Like, I think, and going through the stage now is kind of where I'm realizing, oh, I can have a bit more independence. I can start to kind of carve my own journey into life and kind of take more responsibility for my CHD. So I think having that independence is also feeling empowering to me.
Yeah. I think that's a really important thing. And it's like you kind of get a bit of grief it's a weird relationship to have with your doctors because it's like, you know me very intimately, but I won't ever really see you again. But I wonder if you think about me because I think about you and you've done great and we're healthy and we're happy, but I'll never see them again.
I think that's exactly what I would probably say to my cardiologist because my final, I guess, children's hospital appointment is in January. So that'll be exactly what I'm thinking. And I'll probably say that to him. I'll be like, it'll be weird. I hope you think about me because you've had a big impact on my life. Just kind of that whole thing that you mentioned. So yeah.
It's a weird space. And I suppose moving into having more independence with your healthcare, do you reckon that that's just going to take up like you the next level in terms of like your pride for your CHD? Do you reckon like taking kind of the reins a little bit more on your healthcare is just going to elevate that up?
I think so, if I have to be honest. I think it will because, like you said, like it would make me more proud of my CHD because it's like I have something that makes me different. I'm owning it through my independence of being in the adult care system. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, totally. Because I think growing up in it, being cared for as a child, like you rely so much on your parents, it can be really scary when you're like, I know how much my mum handles and I know how much admin she does for this and I need to take that over.
Yeah.
I'm scared of it, but I'm sure I can do it.
I mean, I'm still young. Like, I'm only just about to turn 18, so I guess my mum, at least for the first couple of years of being an adult care system, will still want to, come to my appointments, still help me with some of the paperwork, which I would definitely appreciate. Don't get me wrong, because I might stuff it up, not going to lie. I think just kind of her taking the sidelines slowly over time and then me taking more control of my health and my body, I guess it'll feel weird, but yeah, exciting and really, really empowering.
Yeah, beautiful. And tell me a little bit about your relationship with HeartKids. Like, when did you know about the organisation? How have they been alongside your journey?
Well, I would say I've more so gotten to know HeartKids throughout the past year after my open heart surgery. I mean, first of all, this podcast, I absolutely love this podcast. And to any heart kid who may feel like they're alone, I absolutely recommend listening to this podcast because of the fact that I came across HeartKids through, I mean, I always knew about them my entire life, just kind of like ear for ear sort of thing. But I never really took too much of an initiative to be part of that because I always thought of my heart condition as something that was not so serious because it's only just a dilated aorta. I know it's a bit of a crazy way to think, but I think after the heart surgery, I really did realize that I'm like, oh, I really am a heart kid now. I actually have something to tell for it. There was an article on the HeartKids website. It was by the wonderful Elle Pendrick. I'm not sure if you've met her. She's a lovely human artist. I had the pleasure of meeting her through teen camp a couple months ago. I found an article on open heart tips and tricks like a pro. And I remember reading that and I read it all and I'm like, oh my goodness, I wish I had learned this earlier because some of those tips really would have come in handy. Let me put it that way, really come in handy when I'd had my surgery last year. And then I listened to the episode, her episode on the podcast. And then I came across all these other stories from podcasts. And I just found out like, oh my goodness, I'm not the only one who's gone through like open heart surgery or have gone through all these different experiences. Like I don't feel alone anymore. And then when I came into year 12 this year, some of my closest friends were like year 12 student leaders. So they would obviously do activities for the school. And then I decided to join leadership. And I'm like, you know what? I really want to fundraise for HeartKids this year. I want to do something different. I want to bring awareness to my story. I want to bring awareness to people with CHD because I think it is important that we talk about their stories. So I was a real big, I guess, initiative for that. We managed to raise money for HeartKids. I managed to tell my story to my entire school. And I think that was also a big thing because my fellow year 12s knew about my story because I was so close with everyone. And then as I kept learning more about HeartKids, I kept meeting more people in the community. And then I also went on teen camp, my first and last one this year, which was absolutely amazing.
God, I wanted to ask about teen camp. I aged out of it before I could go. What are some of the highlights? Like, tell me a little bit about, I guess, going, as you've just said, like when you meet people in your own community, you feel so much stronger in your experiences. What was it like to go to camp and just be surrounded by like the community?
Literally the best thing ever. I have to be honest, it was one of the best experiences ever. It was probably not ideal. It was like a month before my high school, like my year 12 finished. But hey, I don't regret it at all. I met some of the most amazing people who I still keep in contact with to this day. The volunteers, like that's how I met Becky, I met Elle, I met all other volunteers. And I guess being a part of that and doing some of the coolest things, like we managed to do so much cool stuff. Like I learned how to surf.
Girl, yes.
Just one of the things. I learned how to surf. We got to go to all these amazing places around Victoria. And it was honestly a highlight of my year. I do not regret going at all. And there was so much to say, but I cannot think about it right now because of how special and memorable teen camp was for me.
What would you say to maybe like a teen who I suppose is a little bit nervous to engage with HeartKids and feeling a little bit invalidated or not super sure, a bit self-conscious, who has thought about the teen camp but isn't sure if they want to go? What would be your advice?
Well, I was definitely one of those kids growing up, and like when I was 13, 14, I heard about teen camp. Again, like I said before, because I hadn't had the surgery experiences and stuff like that, I thought, what if I feel a bit out of place there? But honestly, to any teen who is considering going to teen camp, do it, because it will be one of the best experiences of your life. You're going to meet some of the most incredible people. You're going to share stories that you're going to think, wow, you're just like me. And just kind of that bonding. Again, we hadn't even met each other the 3 days before the camp. And then instantly by the end, we were like best friends. And even still to this day, like we all still talk. And again, I'm so grateful for teen camp. And I'm so glad I managed to do it before my year 12 finished. So yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
I think that's a really beautiful thing, like getting in a room with people who have the similar experience to you. It's like you don't have to translate to them, like they just get it.
100%.
Yeah, and even in terms of our community is so diverse and so broad in terms of our experiences. The amount of people I meet, like so many different, some have had fontan, some haven't, some have had open heart surgery, some haven't. You know, some have picked it up at 30, some have had it at 4, but it's so beautiful that when you talk to somebody about their experience, we all know the same feelings and we've all had something along the same lines.
Exactly. And it was like one of those things when we'd first meet each other, we'd be like, what's your heart condition? And then you can't really say, then that made me feel more comfortable because it's like, you can't really say that in public who hasn't had the same experiences. And I think, again, that was a big advantage to us bonding so quickly because we could be so open about our heart stories. And I think, again, being part of that experience, it was definitely a big contributing factor, big nice closure to the fact that I am not alone and that there are people like me and that I'm able to turn to when I don't feel great about my CHD on some days.
Yeah, it is up and down. I guess in terms of that, alongside having the community, have you had any like resources or tools that has helped you on those days that it's been a bit hard?
Well, definitely my psychologist. Yeah, big, absolute. She has definitely helped me because I'm a huge overthinker. It's bad at times, but I think being able to turn to her and my family and my friends just whenever I can and to be able to openly talk about how I'm feeling has really helped me because I think a lot of us, when we talk about our problems, we feel better about them. And when we actually have people that we can share it with and them also being able to guide us, I think makes us feel less alone.
I agree. I completely agree. I have a little bit of a prompt here and you're going to have to tell me what this is. I've got the word upbeat.
Oh, yes. So Upbeat is an app where like us HeartKids can basically use it to kind of keep a track of our appointments, keep a track of our medication, just anything related to our own condition. It would definitely be a big tool towards transition for us older kids. I've definitely realized I've started slowly using it as I've now coming out from the pediatric system. I've definitely used it slowly, so I can go kind of keep a track of, okay, I've got this and this, and I've had these and these surgeries. Okay, at least when I do start to go to my cardiologist alone in a few years, I can remember all these things and I can talk to him about it. It's a helpful tool for sure.
I need to get that because everything, like mine's in my notes app and it's like way down the bottom. It's like my grocery list and like random thoughts and then like my conditions. So I'm going to download that when I finish tonight. This is a great little tip.
It's definitely helpful. And again, not only, let me open it up on my phone now because I've got it on my phone. Like what else I could probably add? Yeah, your conditions, your medications, your contacts, or like anything like your GP. Even has your health cards, like you can literally take a photo of your Medicare card. And then what else? Allergies, notes. There's so much to it. And I think for any heart kid, again, going through that transition period where you're going to have to start to learn that independence more, it's 100% I would recommend it.
Yeah, that sounds so good. That's so handy. Oh my God. From where you are, almost about to graduate, so close on the precipice, looking back through your whole life, I guess, I hate asking this question, but I love it at the same time because I'm really going to put you on the spot. What's kind of like the biggest lesson or the biggest value you've taken from it all?
Definitely to be grateful for every single moment because, again, with my open heart surgery, I didn't find out that I could have died until afterwards because with my aorta, I know probably going on a slight tangent here, but with my aorta, when they opened me up, it was paper thin, meaning I was a ticking time bomb. And I guess finding that out and being like, oh my God, like I could have died. And I think from that kind of made me realize, oh wow, you never know which day could be your last. And just being grateful for every single day, I think is one thing I've learned. And I also think as a heart kid, that took me a really long time to learn that you're not alone, that there are people who are just like you.
And I suppose now you've got your scar now, you've been through your surgeries, you've done teen camp, you're about to start an incredible uni degree into an incredible career. What is your relationship like with your heart and with your body?
Well, I would say it's pretty in tune, I think, because I have done a lot with my body in the sense of like, I don't know how to describe it, kind of knowing my limits because of my heart and lungs. I think because I've been able to understand myself more in a deeper scale as compared to maybe other people doing fitness at the gym and stuff like that. I think having that deeper mind-body connection has really helped my relationship with my heart and just kind of know, okay, I can go for this long during my routine and then after this point, I have to stop for a little bit, take a break, maybe go on stage or do like a different program, stuff like that. So I think having a deeper mind-body connection, kind of knowing when you can and can't do things has really helped.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a really like a safe relationship with your body. Like you feel really safe in it.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
I love that. I love that. And look, so we've got 1 week, then what? We've got exams. After exams, is schoolies on the cards or what's the plan? Are we celebrating?
Yes, I'm going to schoolies.
Yeah.
I am so excited. I originally wasn't going to go, but then I'm like, you know what? This has kind of been my attitude towards a lot of things this year. Screw it. I'm going to do it. To meet myself and two of my very close girls, we're going to go to a house that's like on the coast where my Adelaide school is being held, and we're just going to party until the night is over.
Big things that like I always find we talk about in like CHD communities, not living life by like the blueprint that other people do, but rather because we've had experiences where we don't know if the surgery was going to happen, whether we'd live or survive, we live instead a little bit more like a values-based life. So the person that we want to be and the things that are important to us. For you, when you look into the future, what are the values that you want to live your life by?
Oh, definitely gratitude, because that's always something I've been taught growing up, to kind of you get what you give sort of thing. If you give respect, you're going to get respect. And that's always something I have lived among my word for that for my entire life. I think those are probably going to be primarily the two things I see myself living by in terms of values in the future.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh, look, they are all of my questions. Is there anything else you'd like to say or you would like to add?
Oh, I'm not sure. Probably just know that you're never alone and that there is always going to be someone to help you, no matter if you are a heart kid or if you're on a heart kid, no matter what your journey is, there is always someone that's going to be there for you.
Beautiful. A beautiful way to end it. Oh, thank you so much for this chat. It's been gorgeous.
Thank you so much. I have been absolutely honoured to actually be part of something I have been dreaming of doing this entire year.
Oh, I'm so glad. Sometimes this podcast deals with some heavy things. If this brings up anything for you or somebody that you love, it's important to reach out for help. The HeartKids helpline provides support and guidance for anyone impacted by congenital or childhood heart disease. You can call the helpline on 1-800-432-785. To access more information about childhood heart disease as well as support from HeartKids, visit the website at heartkids.org.au. The information on this podcast is not a substitute for medical advice from your doctor or healthcare team. Always talk to your doctor about matters that affect your or your family's health.